Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. Saints Block Party Podcast coming at you. And football is getting closer.
Football is back.
Almost. Uh, the New Orleans Saints wrapped up day one of minicamp. This was the first time. Again, I had to put this like disclaimer because like someone hopped in our TikTok comments this week, last week, when we were talking about OTAs, and was like, why are you talking about it like you guys were at practice? And I was like, well, if you listen to our podcast, you would know that, like we said that we were there. Can I just
Not there.
can I just go on a little mini tangent really
Go
quickly?
on. Tangent on, brother.
I understand that people like don't like with social media and engagement, people don't really watch like the full you like clips of anything. People don't listen to the full podcast. They
No.
don't watch the full podcast. It is absolutely on my fucking radar how infuriating it is because people like hop in the comments like and it's like, oh well, you just watched like a minute of a clip or something when whatever you're talking about we have either talked about before this clip or after this clip. And if you would just listen to it, drives me crazy, bro.
Good luck, bro. Cause that shit ain't never changed. It's been like, and it's gonna get worse because people's attention spans are extremely short.
Oh, get some
Whether
motherfucker.
whether it's the headlines, whether it's the clip, the 10-second clip, whatever, bro. It's like,
Drives me crazy. Ryan, it
oh,
drives me crazy. Um, anyhow, Saints were back, and this was the first time that fans got to see the Kellen Moore regime era in
yeah.
full swing. Sounds like a couple of people from our community. I know Mark, Bunch, depending on how the weather holds up. Tomorrow in New Orleans will be at day two tomorrow, again, depending on how the weather holds up. So we'll kind of have boots on the ground. Um, so I don't know if you want to start with the practice first, or you want to start with free agency talk and interest. I don't know where you
We
want
could
to take it, bro.
we could hit on a little news because it's not much. It's just hit on that little news.
All right. Team brought in Gabe Gabe Davis, wide receiver, free agent for a visit. Um, got cut by the Jags. I go back and forth the Gabe Davis thing. I go back and forth the Gabe Davis thing. They need. I think there's the. Let's remove the. We can get into the off field. Not. Let's go with just strictly on the field.
On the field.
He feels like he would be redundant
Yeah.
to their wide receiver room.
Hmm.
He had that year in Buffalo where he blew up. Looked like he was just about to become a high level number two, maybe borderline low end wide receiver one, and it just didn't work out. He gets that really good, really big payday from the Jags, goes to Jacksonville, doesn't pan out. Big play threat, bigger. He is a bigger body than they currently have, so he's
Oh
bigger
yeah.
than all their, bigger than Cooks, bigger than Olave, bigger than
Like six
Shaheed.
two, 6'2", something like that.
But the thing I feel that is missing the most in the Saints offense right now is a wide receiver that is a consistently can move the chains, and that's just doesn't strike. It's not really Gabe Davis's game.
Never been him. He's never been a chain mover. He's always been like I wouldn't even call it like a deep threat, but just kind of like a sporadic big play
There you go,
guy. Kind of like Robert Meacham was.
bro.
Remember what?
Get out of my head, Wolf. Oh,
And
you
it's
ready?
funny. It's funny because they have kind of like a similar career arc. Because like Meacham was just like he might disappear for 3 games straight. There's no Robert Meacham. Then boom, he'd be just making plays. You'd be like, boy, Robert Meacham coming on. And remember, he
What?
had that good season, and he went to the
The
Chargers. The
Chargers.
Chargers, right? They
Yep,
paid
sure
him big
was.
money. I think he lasted 1 season. I think
He did.
one season. Then he came back to the Saints, and it was kind of so. It's like it's just that type of player that he's never going to be like that guy. You know what I'm saying?
But what did you put in our Discord recently about something that Gabe Davis does really well that Robert Meacham also did really well with the Saints?
From what I've read, he was like the Bills' best blocking wide receiver in the run game. That's what I.
Bruh, did we
Remember,
did we
Meacham was
did
the
we
same way.
did we not just make the best comparison for Gabe Davis on this podcast right now, bruh?
Meacham was the same way, bro. Meacham was a dog blocking in the run game. And look, and look, I know that is like the most boring, like, ooh, he blocks in the run game. Like that is the most boring thing. No fan wants to hear about bringing a wide receiver to block in the run game. No fan wants to hear that, and I completely understand that. But it is an important aspect to have, especially considering your other wide receivers are all like diminutive,
Right.
and they're Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, those guys are just not known for their blocking
We're not.
prowess. It's just not. So you need a guy like that. Is that Gabe Davis? Is that the guy? I don't know. Like maybe not. But that's just something you could kind of think about. Like, okay, he would add a dimension. They do want to run game, run the ball. That is going to be a focus for this offense. So that wouldn't hurt. But you're right, bro. He is kind of redundant. They really need like that guy 10 to 15 yards. Man,
Mm-hmm.
it's third down. They taking Olave out some kind of way. They put their best corner on Olave. Shaheed running downfield. I need somebody that's gonna work these 10 yards. I gotta go get it. That's gonna go up, grab the ball,
Mm.
and it's like, who is it? Like Keenan Allen, he's been that guy for a decade. You know what I'm saying? But
Has been.
he's just kind of out there.
Uh, so that's the on the field fit. I'd be remiss if not talking about the other stuff, right?
Yeah,
So
talk about it.
trusted sources from Gabe Davis regarding his time in Jacksonville, and even I think a lot of his time, at least maybe after he kind of had that big season with the Bills,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of started feeling himself a little bit, kind of got a big head, and just has a reputation of not being a great locker room presence. And so that's a huge red flag that is out there. That's not me making anything up. Like that is sourced.
Jags paid him to go. Like they paid him money to leave. So
And he failed his physical with the Jags because he was like what 20 plus pounds overweight.
yeah.
So my my biggest fear of bringing someone in like that is it isn't even so much like the personality, like Kellen Moore can't handle like personality. It's just like I don't want that type of energy
Mm-hmm.
in what they're trying to build. Like I don't. It's just ugh. Now our dude Brock in our Discord has been kind of on top of this and just saying like maybe him being cut and all that. Maybe that's humbled him. Maybe that's humbled Gabe Davis and he's kind of how people get you
Hey,
get
bro.
cut a couple of times and
Unemployment ain't no joke.
but he's getting paid though, so
Hey,
it's
he get
like
money, but I'm just saying, come football season, you've been playing
yep,
all your life, and then it's like, damn, I ain't got no job, man.
no job, no job, no job.
So I don't know. Like it's one of those things where at least if they did do it, it wouldn't be like a high risk. He wouldn't need a big contract. He got paid like 11.5 million
Nah.
this year, so you wouldn't have to pay him much. It would be like probably a 1 year deal, prove it. So like it's not a big risk, but I completely get like your point of view. Like sometimes, only takes is just a drop of bad energy to kind of spoil the whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole pot. So maybe do you got a nice little thing going right now? Everybody
Mm-hmm.
feeling kind of good, a little positive energy going on.
Well,
Do you want to ruin that? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, but one thing I like about the minicamp videos, you could see how much they need, and we could talk about minicamp as we're just talking about, I guess, the free agency. I mean, not free agency, but like as the free agency as it's ongoing with the Saints. You could just see how much they need a big body presence at wide receiver in some of those videos, bruh. Like
Yeah.
that Tyler Shuck throw, that out
Oh.
route to Cooks.
Oh.
He whipped that shit.
Yeah,
Woof.
that thing was whistling. Like it actually whistled. Like,
What's
ooh.
so why you work?
But what annoyed me was there was a long debate and hand wringing over this one clip. I was like, why are we talking about? And I can't even mention the amount of people that was in my mentions that were just like,
Over that clip? There was
yeah,
handling over that clip.
I was just like, what are y'all talking about? It was like, well, it was incomplete. And I was like, okay, like, but it was nice, like the ball looked nice. That's all I'm talking about. It's like,
And
and
even
then
and
I,
even and even me in the Discord, I said it was incomplete, but you can't you like take that away. You can't like you have to appreciate the throw and if that receiver is a bigger body receiver, a AJ Brown, a DK Metcalf, a bigger body receiver is able to
Devontae Smith, yep.
whoever is able to high point that ball and toe tap that ball down,
Right.
and that's a catch.
Because Brandon Cooks, a great catch. He did catch it, you know what I'm saying?
He
But he
did.
had to leave his feet. He had to
Right.
leave his feet to get it, you know what I'm saying? Whereas somebody that's 6'2" or whatever, they just stand up, grab it, two tap,
Boom.
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 That's a first down on third down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
The,
That's all we
here,
say, bro. Like,
here's the question: does Jawan make that catch?
no, has he ever made a catch like that? Serious question. I'm trying to
He made
think. Like,
that dive in catch that in like
dive, yeah. But like
yeah.
sideline catches and stuff, I don't know if that's really his thing. Like precision. Like he'll, final 3 weeks of the season, Jawan to come and make a catch now. Don't get me wrong. But nah. And then like I admit, I tweeted like man,
I, can
Chuck got
can
an
I
arm, boy.
can I just feel like, how do I word this? I feel like there is a subsection of Saints fans that have not let go of their hate and skepticism of Shuck that they had pre-draft.
Pre-draft. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
What it
Yeah.
is.
I completely agree. There's some with that. There's some that were like, heavy agenda pushes. And look, we were the agenda. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like now we're on the flip side. Well, I'm not even like pushing like Shuck. I'm not pushing Rattler. I'm rooting for Rattler actually. But I'm just like,
Just let the
give
best
me
person
give me
win,
some good quarterback. Give me good quarterback
please.
play. We've had 10 different quarterback starts since Drew Brees left. Just give me some good quarterback play. I don't care.
Ooh,
And it's like when I tweeted like, man, Shuck got an arm, boy. That's all I said. Shuck got an arm. Everybody like, but is it accurate? Yeah,
oh my God!
what about when the pressure is like? Yes, I get all that, but like I'm just saying, the man got a nice arm. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like I'm not,
My dog can't even tweet in beef, bro. Can't tweet one thing about
I'm not,
Shuck, bro.
I'm not trying to define the man's career right now. I'm just saying, man, he got a nice arm, bro. Like, damn,
And he
y'all just
does like
relax.
if you can't, I'll say this: if you can't appreciate that Tyler Shuck has great arm talent, just great arm
A
talent.
noticeable one, like when you notice him, it's like, ooh. When you notice it, that's something.
Like you have a bias in and of itself.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
And that's all it is. It's just there's been unlimited amount of quarterbacks that came in with hoses that have flamed out quickly. Like so, it's not a statement on his career or what he can be. It's
All right.
just
All right.
saying
R.I.P. Ryan Mallett.
Ryan Mallett, perfect example. It's like Dude got a nice arm. That's all we saying, bro. That's all it is. That's all it is. Leave it there.
It's gonna be a long July, bro. It's gonna be a
Boy,
long.
the season, boy, this season gonna be crazy.
Wayne said niggas was mad at with Rattler doing a walkthrough with no helmets on a high pass to Olave. Now you mad at
Right.
Minicamp throw for a shuck that was good.
A good throw. Like
Hell, bro.
some fresh air, man. Just some fresh air, man.
Dante said niggas dog and shuck when I watch Jake Hayner start a game. We not doing this. And then I know you saw that throw that Jake.
Get out of here. Sit down. Sit down somewhere, man.
Bro, Matt Paris
Bro.
put that tweet out. A welcome site for Jake. Welcome to who, nigga? Him, Jake Hayner, and Jake Hayner only, nigga. I get Jake out my goddamn face, nigga.
Man, people sitting in the heat, sweating. You think they want to watch some Jake Hayner, bro? I want to see that. I want to see that, man.
Getting heat stroke for Jake Hayner? Get out of my face, nigga.
I don't want to see that shit.
Dante said oblique about to fall off.
Stretching it out, bro.
Not the good kind. Let's move on to so back to the good. 100% participation at Saints minicamp. Even Taysom Hill was there. Taysom, we talked about it on the last podcast. Hadn't heard anything about Taysom. Bing, crickets. Taysom's there. Still recovering from his injury. There's still a lot of, and I haven't asked my friend where that contract situation is in terms of the pay cut. I still don't know. That's still one of the biggest questions surrounding the team. But it kind of like if you listen to the Kellen Moore presser, you did get the sense that it seems like he's leaning towards playing this season, and he's in the plans to be on the team. And I just would have hated for if that's the case. I'm glad because I would have hated for him to go out like that.
Right. Yeah, it's just good to see him there, bro. And there's also like a small subsection of Saints fans that's like, why is he on the team? Like, bro, just go and retire. It's like I get the youth movement. Like, you want the youth movement. I get it, and I'm like for the youth movement. But like, at least Taysom Hill a fun player, bro. Like,
and he's
just
good
imagine
when healthy.
The few fun times we've had watching Saints the past couple of years has been Taysom Hill games, the Colts game, the Falcons game last year, the
Browns game.
Like, come on, man. It's like he's still a good, fun player. I mean, theoretically, he's still working back from his injury. So we'll see, how he is after that. And he is, 35 years old. So we'll see. But come on, man. Like, that's like one of the few old players where I'm like, let him play it out, bro. Let him play it out.
Yeah, man. Taysom deserves to go out on his. If he wants to play another season, he's ready to come back.
And it sounded like Kellen wanted him to play. Kellen, like, yeah, we're gonna use that.
Well, yeah, and I had reported on the podcast like Kellen. I think when he really started to dig into the Saints film and everything, he was like, "Oh, yes,
come on now,
yes."
You don't have to squint. You don't have to squint to see it. Like,
no, sir. And so it was pretty much he basically told, I don't know, Mickey or whoever, but it was like, as long as Taysom wants to come back, like, I want him on this team. Like, figure it out. Like, yeah,
this man averaged 7 yards a carry with everybody on the building knowing he getting a direct snap and running the ball. Like, 7 yards a carry, bro. Like, come on now. That's insane.
A weapon. An absolute weapon. Colin Andrews said we had 2 Fresno State quarterbacks and niggas want to hate on Rattler and Chuck. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I want to talk about something that I did find interesting. So the Houston Texans signed running back Nick Chubb. That was came official as of yesterday.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy Fowler Sunday night lets it out that the Saints were very interested in signing Nick Chubb as well. And then I put the pieces together, and my friend had mentioned at the end of April, just casually made a comment of like, oh, like I wonder like why there's not more teams interested in Nick Chubb, and I didn't realize it until like after the fact that it was like a hit being dropped that the Saints had was interested in Nick Chubb, and so I can report this on the pod. What I was told, this is after he went to the Texans, is that the Saints had this vision of Chubb and AK complementing each other extremely, extremely well. And had the Saints had a better roster, that Nick Chubb absolutely would have signed with them. But from his perspective, he had been with the Browns for so long and been on teams that have not done shit. And so where he was in his career coming off a bad injury, let me about to start with the Texans because I know I'm at least guaranteed a playoff game at the
Right.
very least. So it
Right.
made completely perfect sense. The Saints,
Mm-hmm.
I can pretty much guarantee, was offering more money to Nick Chubb than the Texans were. But in terms of just where he was, and so, but what's very interesting to me, they tried to sign Nick Chubb. They got Cam Akers out there at and doing a tryout at Minicamp. And I don't. This is not sourced. I just wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on the team. It's all these attempts of adding a running back to the team, and it's like y'all had 9 draft picks, and yeah, you added one in round 6.
In like the deepest running back draft I've seen in years. Years. 9 picks. 9 picks. And okay, you got one in the 6th round, Got, Devin Neal. I like Devin Neal, I can't get that little bag drill out my head though.
You
I'm
ever
like,
see?
damn.
You know what a roly poly is, right? It felt really
Oh.
roly poly ish, bro.
Oh, man. Just how I look getting up in the morning, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. But we'll see, we'll see. But I mean, obviously they want to run the ball this year, bro. They want to run the ball, that's for sure.
I remember I put out a tweet that said, because I remember when my friend told me, I put out a tweet, man. I was like, man, an AK Chubb
Chubb?
Neal backfield. Whoa, that's kind of, especially with the O line, and,
Oh
and
yeah.
you saw what Kellen Moore did with Philly last year, like,
Hmm.
and then I texted my friend after like the Jeremy Fowler tweet came out, and I was like, you son of a bitch.
Yes, some of them.
You son of a
Me,
bitch.
but me personally, bro, it's one of them moves I'm just kind of fine it didn't happen because I just got a feeling that he cooked, like just done, bro. Like I know he's healthy and like everything, but I just think he cooked, man. Like that dude been playing feel like forever, bro. Like
He
Nick
has, man.
Chubb. I mean, they ran him to death in college, and then he came to
College.
the NFL, and I just think he done, man. I think he done. Could be wrong. He might have a great,
I
and
I love how.
it's a perfect
Go ahead.
spot with the Texans too because
Perfect.
he doesn't have
Perfect.
to be the lead dog there. So
I I love how I put in our Discord. I was like, man, this thing should holler at J.K. Dobbins yesterday.
what happened?
Fucking Sean, bro.
I'm telling you, Sean got somebody in that Discord, bro. He still got somebody in that Discord, man.
He got
RJ
somebody in the
Harvey,
Discord, bro.
RJ Harvey. You just said that yesterday.
I
Just
said it
said that.
yesterday, bro. I said this thing should holler at J.K. Dobbins, bro. Like he had a little nice season for the Chargers last year before he got hurt. Like he was having a really nice little season with the Chargers.
Is that you, Connor Payton? Are you in our Discord, bro?
Is it Connor? Listen, Connor, you owe us a podcast appearance. You're gonna be in our Discord sending some intel, little
For real?
little nigga. Someone in the chat asked, who said it? I lost it. Dante said Kendre ain't making them put the phone down, huh?
I did read a little piece today that
I saw it. Yeah.
Kendre did say he's the healthiest he's ever been since college. And, he was a little defensive in it where he's saying, like, look, I've never been like an injured player before that, blah, 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 blah. He says he feels great.
Wait, didn't
Show
he get
me,
hurt?
bro.
Didn't he get hurt in college?
Well, I guess he said before that, before he got
Oh,
hurt in
before
college.
the okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he's never been injured. Fine, show me, bro. I don't care. I don't care what you say right now. Show me on the field, not preseason, regular season games. Show me that you could stay healthy for 2 consecutive games. Two. Two
This
games
nigga said the under is 2 games.
without Kendre Miller being on the injury report the next day. I'm not even worried about can he figure out the offense stuff, because look, left, right, middle, figure that shit out. Because here's the thing: even when he didn't know the offense, every time he touched the ball, he was still doing something good. So just stay healthy, bro. Get your mind right, stay healthy, and we'll figure the rest out, man. Because you might not make the team, bro, the way things are going.
Someone asked, oh, there it is. Benny asked, did Cam Akers get signed or was it just a workout? It's just a workout as of now.
For now.
So for now, so we'll see. What else? What's happened? One thing I did want to bring up. It's kind. I haven't wanted to talk about it too much because I feel like I don't want to be like. I feel like I have this the the title of being like the Debbie Downer of Saints fandom. That's like the badge I wear. So
shit, man. We positive compared to the shit I be seeing.
But OTA, all the OTA videos and everything. Well, it's good to see the young quarterbacks looking good. Gotta talk about these DBs, bro. Even in the minicamp practices today.
Damn.
Listen, you can say it all.
No pass rush.
No pass rush. Drills like this are always geared where the right receivers are expected to win. But I don't usually see shout out to Sanker making that interception against Rattler. That was great. I guess Johnson had the interception against Shuck and OTAs earlier. But for the most part, you don't really even see DBs with the in a spot to break up a pass. You don't see them contesting a pass.
I'm just saying, bro. It's I don't know, bro. And the problem is, okay, it feels like Paulson or Debo and Marshawn Lattimore out there, and it's okay, yeah, we know what they're gonna do once the season comes. But we know that's one of the biggest question mark groups on the team, and it's man, where they competing at, man? And I mean, I saw a name I have never heard in my life, Zazavian
No idea.
Valade, caught
I
a
don't know.
deep pass.
I don't know who the hell that player is.
Who in the hell is Zazavian? He has an X and a Z in his name. How is that even possible? An X and a Z. Unbelievable, bro. And he catching deep passes. I'm man,
That was a nice ball by Rattler, though.
It's a beautiful ball. It caught in stride and everything. I'm wow. Zazavian catching balls on our DBs, bro.
Gonna be alone. And it's easy to laugh about it now, but during the season, that it could just lead to potentially so not complimentary football, and that's the last thing you want for a rookie quarterback. That's the last thing you want for a second year quarterback.
Yeah,
If you go down and you put a 12 play drive together, or like
Oh,
a big play touchdown. You go to the sideline, you amped, you hyped, you did your shit. The offense came together exactly as what you practice all week of the game plan. Your defense go out there, give that shit right back up.
we've seen it. We know what it looks like. We know
we
exactly what it looks like.
we do. So
And you
then,
bring up cornerback.
oh, you took my segue. Go ahead,
Go
bro.
ahead. I
No,
mean,
go ahead, bro.
uh, what's his name? Forgot his name. Jaire
Jaire.
Alexander. Jaire Alexander is available. He got cut by the Green Bay Packers. You know, interesting career, like very similar career to Marshawn Lattimore. You know, like got drafted, hit the scene, game busters, just looking
Yep.
like great cornerback. Um, then injuries hit him the past couple years, and team wound up splitting away from him. He's 28 years old, just kind of like Lattimore, young. Um, he's available, bro. Like Saints need a corner. Saints got needs at corner. There's
Need
like a Pro Bowl level corner right there,
right there.
right there. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
It's funny because that 2008, man, I feel like I'm gonna at some point make that 2000, like when we did the, like how the Saints like got it wrong in 2018,
Oh
make that
yeah,
a SBP Reloaded episode at some point, because even by them, like even not the Lamar trade, like they could have stayed pat and drafted Jaire Alexander that year and paired
yeah.
him with Marshawn.
With Lattimore.
Because like I had a Jaire was one of my draft baits. I loved Jaire Alexander as a prospect. I loved him as a prospect coming out. And I guess the question is, but I as right now I'd be very weary of him because he's very similar to how Marshawn was his last 2 seasons with the Saints in terms of
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how many games he's going to play for you, and that's
Yeah.
exactly why the Packers cut him. And so, if you're in this place where this, the cornerback room, and they don't know they don't know what they have in Quincy Riley right now. We'll see where he gets up to speed, and hopefully he's healthy come training camp. I guess maybe the debate really is, Jaire, or do you go with like a younger player as like Asante Samuel, who is coming off like they're both coming off their own health issues,
Mm-hmm.
neck surgery for Asante Samuel, and then he's going to reevaluate his situation after July, or do you go with a better player, although older,
Mm-hmm.
in Jaire? That's really what the question is. Like
Yeah.
Jaire's going to cost, she's going to cost more money. Um, it's, a, it's an interesting. It's an interesting
It's
question.
interesting, man. I just think from a team building perspective of where the Saints are right now, um, somebody like Asante Samuel just makes more sense
I agree.
because one, he's younger, and you're taking a low risk, high reward bet. We're like, okay, if he gets healthy and he is a good player, that's a young player I can add to my roster,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Where Jair, he feels more like a player the Saints would get back in 2018, 2019. We were trying to make that last push, try to get Drew Brees a Super Bowl. You need that one, you need another corner to add to the piece, Janoris Jenkins or something like that, like we did in the past. He's more like that move then. Like, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it because, like, just like the reasons you mentioned, a good defense helps your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Helps your young quarterback. So, like, I wouldn't hate them going after it because they did try to sign a cornerback this offseason, right? They went after.
Oh, he's in the Colts.
God damn, his name just escaped me. It's cold, bro.
Uh, Travaris
Oh,
Ward.
Javaris Ward, yeah. So like they knew like there was a need there, and I know they drafted Quincy Riley, but he's still. I mean, he did practice today, so like he's coming back, but there's still a question mark.
Right.
So yeah,
I,
I would just still lean towards Asante, but I wouldn't hate them going to
right.
get Jair. I wouldn't hate it, even though I haven't
I
heard anything about him.
I would lean towards Asante as well. And then I would also add the caveat that he has familiarity with Brandon Staley's
That's
defense,
true.
right?
That's a major key.
So there's that trust, familiarity.
And
You could
that
just kind of
Jaire a different character too, man. Like, everybody talking like Greg Rosenthal had the whole thing where he talked about him going on the field, making himself the captain against Carolina. And then like the media asked him about it afterwards. He was just like, I don't know, bro. And then like I didn't even realize it that he made the wrong call. Like he wrote
yes,
he was saying like
yes,
he was like, yeah,
yes. You didn't realize that? Oh
like put
yes,
the defense out there. I'm like, what?
yes, Ryan.
I'm like, man, that's a wild boy right there. I don't know.
Okay, so to your point about this was like a move that the Saints would make in 2018, 2019, going for a last push. I'm going to counter that and say, what is someone who's in the building trying to do right now for their job, though?
Mickey Loomis, baby. You know that's a Mickey move right there, boy.
And
That's a
not
Mickey
this,
move.
and this is again, this is not intel. This is not sourced. I'm just coming from a standpoint of like you have to think of who's making that call, who's making that decision, and if Mickey's trying to save his job, then you look at it from that prism and that point of
Right.
view, then to me, it's like, oh, then it's Jaire every day because he's going to want the quote unquote better player, the bigger name, because he's trying to get wins to save his job.
Yeah. And you know, Mickey, like, man, if I could compete for the NFC South, be right there.
Jay Sean said Razul Douglas and Stephon Gilmore are still available too.
Huh.
Huh?
Oh, Stephon.
They need they need a.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind
Wayne
Stephon
said
Gilmore.
in the hunt. Niggas.
In the hunt, baby. That's all he want. Hashtag in the hunt.
I wanted to add this from like listening to the Kellen presser. I don't know how the season's gonna go. Just talent wise and just kind of what the team faces, they still feel like a 5-win team. But listening to him and listening to his pressers recently, just really get the sense that he is a good teacher of the game
Yeah,
of football, man.
I agree. You get that sense just from hearing him talk. And just watching him, man. He just looks like a guy that's going to interface with the players in a different way. Him being a former player, him being a young guy, 36 years old, still young. Players on the team older than him, bro.
He's a year younger than me, Ryan.
Crazy. Also crazy that McVay only 39. That is
What?
insane. 39 years old, bro. Like he's a veteran head coach. 39 years old. That's insane.
Did you have? You probably haven't listened to it yet, but did you hear the Mike McDaniel's piece on NFL Daily that they played?
Oh, he was. I love that quote, bro. He was like, what did he say? He said, I don't give a shit about myself. Something like that.
Bro, that man is stressed as fuck, Ryan. Man is stressed.
You need to get that call. That call that McVay got from Chris Peterson or whatever. Call up Mike McDaniel, bro. Check on your boy. Bro.
Check on my black head coach.
I don't give a shit about myself right now.
McDaniel's almost let that nigga out of him a little bit, bro. That black almost came out a little hard, bro.
I was like, man, I feel you, Mike. I feel you, bro. I don't give a shit about myself. It's tired, man. Freaking Jalen Ramsey. We just paid you. Now you want to leave?
Jalen Ramsey, child abuser, Jonnu Smith.
Got two out here with the mystical braids. Like, the hell you got in your head, boy?
I know Mike McDaniel's be wanting to call Tua daddy so he can come beat the shit.
Smack this nigga for me, bro.
anyway, you had brought up a good point because shout out to our dude Ross Jackson for pointing this out too in his mini count day one write up. But listening to like Kellen Moore was talking about like what today's practice was about, but it was really more about more situational football. It wasn't about like big
Yeah.
shots and seeing like what to do and understanding what to do, knowing that you have that for hey, we're gonna go for it on fourth down. So if we're doing this on second, this is what you need to on second down. This is what you need to do on third down. No, for goddamn well that was not happening under Dennis James Allen.
Absolutely not.
And
Absolutely not.
you made such an astute point by saying that you feel like that was a great indicator to you, and I agree with you 100%, that the Saints likely will be going for it more on fourth down this upcoming season.
Yeah, I really do think that. I mean, look where he's coming from. He's coming from Philly, where they go for it on fourth down. It's not even a thought process. But it's not just going for it on fourth down.
Gotta
And
have a plan.
and that's why I like what Kellen said. We're actually practicing that in OTAs and minicamp. That get it in your mind. Fourth down is a play. Like it's usually in your mind. Third down is the last play if we don't make it. Put it in your mind that fourth down is the last play. That is where we're going. So third down is almost like second down. Like okay, we just got to get. You got to trick it, right?
Man, that's a cultural
Yeah,
change.
it really is, man. And so if that's the case, and I think him coming from Philly, just spending that 1 year in Philly, I think that really influenced him. And I don't know what his fourth down numbers was before that, but I think that really influenced him. Just that have to have that aggressiveness. And it'd be interesting, bro. Like, cause I mean, gonna do that, you gotta convert them things, bro. Cause
Especially because we were just talking about the defense just now. Nigga, you can't be going for it on fourth down to your defense ass, bro.
and look, it also opens up for a lot of. I mean, look at the Lions, bro. Like super aggressive team, but they didn't not made it to the Super Bowl because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they really aggressive, bro, to the point where it's like, damn, bro, why don't you just kick that thing?
Right.
So, but I still love it. I love it, especially coming off of DA, the most boring. And when he would go for it, it was the most like of
Bro,
course you're gonna go for it now, bro. Like, okay,
no, but you talking about you hit on this point was so great because I was at that Rams game, Thursday Night Football, that Rams game that Mitch walked out at halftime.
it's up done. I'm going to the airport.
Mitch wasn't even in the post game picture, Ryan. Like Mitch. Okay, but I remember we had talked about this on the post game recap pod. Is he went for it on fourth down in that game, like in the first half, I believe it was. And you talked about like they didn't convert on that play, but you talked about how it just wasn't in the Saints DNA and culture for them to do things like that. And so everything was so out of sorts and discombobulated and just out of whack for them. And so it just didn't work. So you kind of tie in this point of how it's being implemented in minicamp and probably was also being talked about in OTAs, talks about how if this is how you're going to be, it has to start at the base and it has to start at the foundation.
Exactly.
Not just in the moment, like, oh shit, like I'm trying to coach for my job and I need to win this game, and so I'm gonna go for it on fourth down. That's not how it works.
Exactly. That's not how it works, man. That is not how it works. I'll tell you, bro. Like one thing, and we don't know how Kellen Moore is going to turn out as a coach, but
Don't know.
man, it just makes how bad of a coach Da was more obvious day by day, day by day. Like I said in the Discord yesterday, I just like maybe the Saints' talent is bad. It probably is, but I also think like Dennis Allen has like downward pressure on the development of a lot of players. Like it wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple of players who we kind of written off rise to the occasion a little bit if Kellen Moore and his staff is good. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're pretty good coaches. You know what I'm saying? It would surprise me. Not
Yeah.
Feisty. No.
Do you have any? Do you have any players that you just maybe give me like two players that you
Well, I mean, obvious one is like Trevor Penning.
penning?
Just from where he's been, the position he's being put in. Nugent talked today about how like he likes bigger guards in the middle and all that stuff. I could see that working out. Uh, what's another one? You know, I wouldn't say. I mean, I haven't heard anything about this player. But like, it maybe even like a Howden. Uh, maybe there's something there. I don't know. Like, I haven't heard like nothing about him. Like, is he still on the
Nothing.
team? I don't know. Like,
Yes.
I've heard nothing about him. Maybe somebody like him. Maybe Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid was somebody who played in a similar style system at Alabama than what he's going to run here. Maybe that helps him here. Maybe just getting DA out of here, maybe that helps Alante a little bit. Like maybe I don't know. Like I don't know, but maybe they unlocked Jawan finally. Shit, I don't believe that, but you just
Whoa.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Like I just think Da was really that bad, bro. Like I think he was that bad where he was very. I mean, we saw with Zach Bond. Saw with Zach Bond
Literally.
had a
And
player that done nothing here.
and I mean, we had talked about on the podcast how like he didn't want to play Caden Ellis, and the only reason Caden Ellis got on the field was because of Ryan Nielsen when all those injuries
So
happened.
weird, bro. He was so weird because he would have short leashes for some players and then have like infinitely long leashes for other players that didn't seem to deserve it. It was like, what is going like? Ugh. Just glad we're done with that. Like,
Done.
just
Get
done.
enjoy Chicago. So minicamp. So there's day 2, day 3, and then mandatory minicamp will be over. So figure we'll figure out when we'll recap like the rest of day 2, day 3 of minicamp. Because Father's Day is upcoming this upcoming weekend, but we'll figure
Oh
some shit
yeah.
out. Anything else? I think we
I think that's it. And we're done with underdog, huh?
yes
Yeah. So
yeah
yeah,
yeah we're
6-8. Okay.
done.
Let me see. Did mention that Alvin Kamara was back. Um,
It's good. I was just saying, just from the clips, man. This quarterback competition is just gonna
Very.
be
I was just watching Spencer. I was watching both him, Spencer Rattler, and Tyler Shucks post practice interviews, and I like where where Spencer Rattler's mind is right now. But I just like he was already harping on the interception that Sanker went up and got. He was pointing out like that was just one bad play today, and how his goal is to not have any ball hit the ground, and he talked about the coaching points that he gets from Nussmeyer, who like when one thing I noticed from watching Rattler last year, he has this tendency to lock his front leg
yep, sure
sometimes,
does.
which causes him to throw high. And he
Yep.
talked about two passes that he threw today where he did that, and Nussmeyer quickly like locking that front leg, boom, boom, boom. And he's like, yeah, I know. So I just hearing that is like, man, they getting some coaching up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like they getting some good coaching. So I hope it all works out, man. But I just like where Spencer Rattler is at right now. And look, Shuck, man, like he doing his thing. We'll see. I mean, his stock is so low right now. All he could do is go up. Because
Right.
Saints fans, not just gonna say Saints fans. Some Saints fans ain't trying to hear. I don't want to hear nothing about no Shuck. I'm like, damn, bro. The man is a Saint, bro. Like
Right.
he's a Saint, even though he ain't got no contract yet.
He doesn't. Although, I mean, at least he's not in a Samara Stewart situation, which is a
Oh man,
whole nother situation.
that's crazy to me. That interview was crazy. I was just watching it. It's like, wow. Very, very well spoken kid too.
Extremely. So like this training camp's going to be extremely interesting.
Ooh.
Just to see, how they manage it, how they rotate. And I get it, honestly, bro. I need Hainer out of her, bro. Like I need them.
Oh,
I need them to focus. Let Decker get some of those reps
get the little
if they need.
sprinkles. Get the
They need
little,
to, but let's
get them little
focus.
crumbs.
Let's focus on the main event, please, bro. Like we're not trying to see it.
What'd you think of Cam Jordan pushing for Jameis to come back?
Bro, like I said in the Discord, bro, it made me want to unblock Cam to block him again.
We've reached the end, bro. Like we good. I'm good.
Hashtag. I'm good. It's just I don't even understand. Like what? Like what would be the point of Jameis? Like what would be the point of Jameis?
Try to be the veteran presence, you know.
Okay.
Think about you bring Jameis, man. Jameis gonna play at some point. I feel like Jameis just has this magic about him where he gonna get on the field somehow. You know,
Somehow,
injuries.
bro.
Somehow he gonna end up on the field playing some games. It's like, I don't want that. I want the young guys to play. This needs
That's
to be
it,
a youth movement year.
That's really what this year should be about. A youth movement year. That's why we.
That's it, man.
I'm with the.
I love
Asante.
Tyrann Mathieu. I love Cam Jordan did for the Saints. You know, I love the Mario Davis and all that, man. But it's time to let the youth through.
Not Dante's here. Nikki needs to free herself. Get this nigga out the chat. Get out the chat, Dante.
I know she saw that the gray braids. She's like, oh Lord.
Nikki about to take hat. Okay, let me anyway.
Chill.
Anyway, let me stop. Anyway, we'll be back later this week, recapping the rest of minicamp. We're not doing a rookie of the week. Good call on that episode. I'm not breaking down Brendan Brighton on Father's Day weekend. I'm not doing that.
No, man. No.
I will be enjoying going out with my family on Sunday. We're going out to my favorite breakfast place, and then after that, we are going indoor go-kart riding on Thursday.
Man, I love go-karts, bro. Love go-kart riding.
You know the funny thing about it happens every time I go-kart riding. I always feel like I'm going insanely fast. Like I feel like I'm like just
Yeah.
Bro, I'd be going slow as shit, bro.
That's how I feel, though, bro.
Like Need for Speed. Be going slow as shit, bro. That's what I wanted. Like those are the two things. The two things I wanted. I mean, I know I'm saying this at the end of the podcast episode. I live in Los Angeles adjacent. So with everything going on, if you're still listening to this, be safe out there. If you haven't gotten the sense from our podcast by now, like we have a voice. Our voice is important. The voice that Ryan and I utilize is important. Our podcasts, our medium, so I can say this proudly, like fuck Donald Trump and everything that's happening currently in this country. Wild times, and I'm
Marines.
I would really like president times back. Like I'm tired of unprecedented times. Just I would really
my God, I'm so tired of unprecedented. This is unprecedented.
So can we get president times back? Where did those times go? But I don't I don't get super personal on this podcast a lot, but just two things I'll add before wrapping up is like yesterday, my kid called me and she wanted to talk on the phone because she was just bored, and then today she has to go to like a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and then she was like, "Hey, like, do you wanna like go get lunch before you take me to my doctor's appointment on Thursday?" And if no one like knows unless you're like super close, I'm like no one knows like the shit like I went through last year. So if you're going through like shit in your life, no matter like what it is, like continue to like fight for it. Because I've been through some shit.
Yeah, man.
Y'all don't
That's
know.
great to hear, bro. That's great to hear, man.
Yeah.
I know that brought a smile to your face there.
Bruh, almost broke down. So fight for your shit. Things that are important to you. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Please like and subscribe. Should have said that at the beginning of the podcast. We want 60. I had to look and see. I think we're like at 49,
Come on
50
now.
people
60, man. 60.
for the
I
meet
need
for,
60 at the meetup, at
for the
least.
meetup. Hold on, I'm gonna check it right now. I'm gonna check it right now before we wrap up. This is great podcasting, especially for our audio listeners who love not hearing anything. We are at 49. We're at 49. So we need 11 more people to hit our goal of 60 people to be at the meetup in October for the Saints Patriots game. I need to be a Patreon or a YouTube member. Patreon.com/Saints Spot Party, $1 a month, or it's like $11.50 if you want to do the full year. If you go the YouTube route, it's $4.99 a month. 11 more people. If you're if like
Come
you're
on.
already if you're already a Patreon, make it happen if you can. If you can.
It's a blast. Go to, if you don't know what it look like, go to saintsblockparty.com. There are pictures there. More pictures, but some had to be removed for reasons I can't speak about. But trust me, hit us up if you want some more pictures to see what it look like. Hit us up. We'll show them to you because it should be live. Live.
Live.
It's a movie. And it's not just to meet up. We go to the game. We go to, if you want to be a part of it, you go to the game. We hang out during the week. Go hit up bars, bar hopping, karaoke, eating, brunch. Come on, man. Like,
Nothing like it.
nothing
Nothing like
like
it.
it.
Mitch is coming from Hawaii.
Mitch coming, bro. I can't wait to be. I can't
Like
wait to
like
meet Mitch.
this is the I think this is the first time Mitch has like come to an event since that Rams game.
I can't wait, man. Can't wait. Build friendships that could last forever, man. I've made friends through this community that I would have never met otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And I value those friendships. Great friendships. So, like, if you're thinking about it, you're kind of on the fence, like, I don't really do that type of thing. Just take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith and give it a
Trust us.
shot.
Trust us.
Trust us.
And even if those friendships don't last, maybe you'll meet like other friendships
Right.
outside that you still value. But so like you still have those friendships. So anyway, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back to wrap up Saints Minicamp and keep it going. And then after Minicamp, like it's like dead, right? Because this like it's dead till
Dead, bro.
to July, right?
Tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds, bro.
Yeah, we're going. We
Nothing.
going. We might have to get some
Cook
special.
something up.
Yeah,
We'll cook
for
something
sure.
up.
All right. Well, we
Oh
will
yeah,
be.
I know we gotta get our boy Joe on, college professor, to talk about this
Yep.
NCAA, big changes to college football, college sports in general. We're gonna get him on eventually, sometime during the summer, and talk about what's going on because he been on top of it from like since the beginning. So that's gonna come. Maybe we get Jake on too. Shit.
Well, yeah. We got some things got coming and
Yeah.
cooking. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back later this week. Talk about more Saints mini camp updates and other happenings. And with that, we are out.
Peace.